This is Biafra Television, exposing the lies.
Biafra speaks.
We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets.
Seek ye first the freedom of your nation, the Biafra nation, your nation, and every other thing will be added unto you, including restructuring.
The Biafra speaks.
We are not one Nigeria. Let us go.
It's all about Biafra people. Voices on Biafra television.
My husband has always said to me that I should be speaking.
The Biafra Speaks is the voice of the people, the indigenous people of Biafra within and outside the Biafra territories.
So let the world know the secret that has been hidden for 20 years.
A weekly program where we can hear the voices of the Kwere people, the Bibio, the Gala, the Datu, the Joy, Itsekiri, Urobo, Igbo, Igede, Ibanke, Izon, Southern Cameroon, etc.
Yeah, even in the States, we have several dialects, beautiful dialects.
We are fighting in terms of our agitation, we are fighting in terms of our belief.
I have my right to speak and you have your right to speak because we are Biafrans. The voice of the people is power, so let us speak.
We know that our people are going to be free because we are all of the 12 tribes of Israel. So free Biafra.
We're fighting in terms of our consistency to ensure that we are free, because we're not free.
People from different tribes and tongues, exhibiting our true and godly cultures and tradition to the world in defense for our freedom and emancipation from mental slavery.
Anybody telling me that Biafra will not exist is a liar. It has already existed.
For all Biafrans are one, be a part of this program.
There cannot be a resolution of the Biafran dilemma without a wholesome engagement of the Nando, Kano, Mefo faction of IWAR.
Join us as we take you around the globe, the Biafran people and their voices.
Contact us for your voice anywhere on the globe by mailing us on obugadmedia@gmail.com. You can also reach us on a Facebook page. The Biafra Space is our right, our voice, our ideas from the Obugad Media Biafra Television.
Keep living in the atmosphere of the rising sun.
Obugad Media, the voice of freedom and truth.
Biafra Television.
Thank you, viewers. You're welcome to the program that enlightens, inform, and educates people. It is all about Biafran Speaks, voices on Biafran Television. I still remain your host, Mazi Chigozie Tony Asomba. On today's episode, we will be bringing you exclusive interview that has to do with the outcome of the election, the boycott election in Anambra State. And today in the studio with me is Reverend Father John Bosco, who will be talking to the Biafrans regards to the election and some other related issues. Thank you as you join me. Sir, we would like you to help us throw light on the incident that just took place on Saturday, the election, the Anambra State election. The IPOB members targeted 60% boycott of the election, but from all indication, we find out that we had above 60%. What do you have to say that made it possible?
At times, when things happen, people with critical mind will take a very deep look into exactly what happened. IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, are very disciplined people, very cultured. We follow our processes of self-determination, our struggle. We follow the process democratically. We lay down rules and principles. And one of those rules, to engage our opponent, to press home our demand, is civil disobedience, among other things. Incidentally, the issue of Anambra election came up And it became an opportunity that presented itself in the course of our struggle. And our leader, a very intelligent man with God-given foresight, knew the importance of civil disobedience, knew the importance of boycott in elections, and instructed. In fact, he made it as a mandatum novum that we must boycott that election and see the fruits it will yield. The indigenous people started desensitization, grassroots awareness, campaigning, telling people the importance of that aspect of civil disobedience, going street by street, home to home, making calls, educating people. The consciousness and the awareness started rising to the envy of Nigerian political class. They became so afraid. What are we going to do to these people? If we leave them, that means our own is finished. And they started plotting. The Abuja cabal became uncomfortable. Their puppets here in Biafra land became jittery. They convoked meetings upon meeting. Their errand boys, the Ohaneses, they were already urinating in their pants. Seeing the result of the campaign and the awareness being created by IPOB all over the places, the way we carry our campaign, they became afraid. And their masters told them, do everything humanly possible to stop these people. They convoked a meeting with ill-fitted intention, and they conceived the Python dance. The security men, various security agencies, the Ohaneses, the Southeast governors. They were just reading the script written by their master. Remember, Nnamdi Kanu used to say that he knew Hausa Fulani very well. If they want to come in, they will first of all create a division. When they see that division is there, they will not come in. They called that meeting, invited the military for just no cause. We are not in a situation of anything. Military exercise is not what you do on the road. You have a very big places you do that. They came, they killed us in collaboration with our people, the so-called leaders. They sanctioned it. In fact, it was our people proscribing and banning IPOB that gave the so-called cabal the impetus to tag us terrorists. It was our people that first of all proscribed and banned IPOB. It gave them the impetus to go to court and secure an order to say IPOB is a terrorist organization. They used our people to achieve what they want. What is their sole target? To make the Saturday 18th November election just passed, to make it a success. But they don't know that God has another plan altogether. They went to a director's house, killed everything there, including a dog, and took him away. Till today, we've not seen him, we've not heard from him. They killed many people there. They committed all, caused the highest desecration, knowing what a traditional institution is here in Biafra land. They went to a palace of a traditional ruler and desecrated it, hoping that they have clamped down on us, that nothing will happen again. Therefore, these people are so daft and so ignorant. They forgot the words of Woloso Yinka, that you cannot defeat an ideology with barrel of gun. They forgot the words of General Philip Effiong. These surrendering Biafrans, if you don't treat them well, their children will come up tomorrow and start what they have done. They forgot it so quickly. They forgot the words spoken by second in command of the zoo after the war, when he was approached and asked, why do you remove the bite of Biafra from the map? And he said, we know that tomorrow their children will come up and start the agitation again. So that if when they don't see it, they wouldn't know where to start. These nincompoos who call themselves leaders and political allies, don't know all these things. And they thought that with barrel of gun, in connivance with their paymasters, that they will subdue IPOB. Lo and behold, on Saturday 18th, the day they were trying to protect came up, and our people, as usual, hearkened to the voice of our prophet Nnamdi Kanu. They didn't vote. The sit-at-home was 100%. Election boycott, some were saying 75, 85, and all that. But it was above average. Very commendable all over the world. In conclusion, it all means Python dance was defeated. All the plot to subdue our people were defeated. Because the aim, why they were doing those things, was to have a successful election. But it didn't come to pass. I salute the courage of courageous and brave Biafrans all over the world, particularly my brothers and sisters who are here in Biafra land, who are catching bullets with bare hands. I salute your courage. I love you, and I will continue to love you. Thank you.
Yeah, the international community demanded for 60% of votes in order to discuss the referendum. What is the next step, sir?
Is there any way you can help us?
Well, you said election has come and gone, but then from facts available, the so-called winner didn't secure 25% throughout the whole local government. Invariably, he's not qualified to be a governor. He's an illegal governor. If we are to go by a constitution. Because I brought up this argument. Somebody said, but we are doing common majority. I said, okay, you are doing common majority now. What about your constitution? Your constitution is 2/3. And he couldn't secure up to 2/3. So where do you declare him a governor? And Oseloka rejected the result. Tony Mori congratulated him. But I saw something in that congratulatory message, because the man he was congratulating may likely move in with Tony Mori to his party. We are speculating. Again, having said that, hopefully, a number of international observers were here on Saturday. We saw them, and they acknowledged that the boycott was excellent. They acknowledged that the sit-at-home was 100% achieved. In fact, they call it a mock referendum, that we have secured the requirement for the substantive referendum by doing this mock referendum. Now, you know, a number of our people say, oh, okay, tell us the date for referendum. Since we have boycotted this election, tell us the date. It needs a lot of diplomatic discussion, negotiation. A number of documents will be signed. A number of consultations will be made. A number of memorandum of understanding will be signed. Don't forget, we are 11 clans in Biafra land. If you look at the horn of the rising sun, if you count it, it is 11. We are 11 clans. And all these clans will be consulted. Unlike what the British people did here, they didn't consult anybody, they didn't write agreement with anybody, they just came, deceive us with trade, and tomorrow say that we are country. Nobody signed anything. So we are being very meticulous and careful so that we don't repeat the mistake again. A document is now circulating. Biafran Charter is circulating now. People will see how the emerging African country will look like. Our constitution is almost done, and other important things that makes up a nation. So we cannot just jump in and do a referendum. There are certain things, requirements that must be on the ground. Nevertheless, we know that the European Union that formed a commission that is helping to facilitate this referendum, they are working. We equally know that our people are discussing with the United Nations. It's not everything that we make open, because we are not Wazirike's group. When the time for us to make these things open comes, definitely we make them open. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Igbos scattered all over the world are like borrowed vessel. used in developing the world without them realizing who they are. The effect is very, very, very visible on every average Igbo man. Why? Those that were taken to slavery in United States built United States. Those in Asia and all over the world. But it seems to me that the Igbo man has not come to discover himself. What do you have to say?
Well, we can trace the genesis of this to the ancient times. In fact, maybe we stop at the biblical times.
Okay.
In as much as I see the Igbo man getting scattered all over the world as a result of the treatment they are being given here, I may like to go further back to see them scattering themselves all over the world, or God scattering them, because He said, I will scatter you to every corner of the earth because we offended God. The original plans we are living is not the plan of God. We have left the original plans. We are doing things the way we want. We abandoned God. We abandoned His commandments. We are doing our own. Remember, we are God's own people, the Lord's chosen people. He chose us for Himself. He said, I will be a father to you and you will be my sons. We entered into several covenants with God, and we broke this covenant, and God became annoyed and scattered us all over the world. Now, maybe due to this recent self-realization that is taking place now, because I remember God promised that I will bring you back. I will gather you and bring you back. Maybe He's about to bring us back. Apart from that, the situation we find ourselves, the Igbo man finds himself in this contraption called Nigeria, is a pitiable situation. In fact, Adepti leader used to say that we are in a very big mess. And for you to escape from such, you run out where you go to seek a greener pasture. And the Igbo man, being an industrial type, very intelligent, very wise, the people they encounter, we always like to tap from their intelligence, tap from their wisdom, and thereby using them directly or indirectly to develop their place. When Igbo man comes back here, he is not relevant politically, economically, even religiously. And the next option is to go and look for where he will be accepted. Even despite that, people who run away from this enclave and find themselves in the other part of the zoo, they are being treated like slaves there. Despite that, they stayed. You can hear some people say, Igbo people, if they go, hungry will kill us. If they go, our people are very lazy people. If they go, we will die. They know what they are saying because they know what they benefit from us. So it boils down to this point, that self-realization, that going back to our God who will bring us back to our land, keeping His commandments, His ordinance, so that He will bring us back. At times when you see our people doing things, you begin to say, and our detractors and enemies capitalize on that. You can see what happened during the election. These people that are giving you money, giving you cooked rice, they were the very people that kept you in a situation of hunger. They planned it very well and kept you in that situation. And they know that when they keep you there, and when they flash a plate of rice, whatever they tell you, you do it. So it was a well orchestrated thing. So, but thank you very much.
Okay. Now,
the Biafra speaks.
We are fighting for independence, not fighting physically with guns and bullets.
Seek ye first the freedom of your nation, the Biafra nation, your nation, and every other thing will be added unto you, including restructure.